just ask you a question, dog.
What's up? Huh?
I'm gonna time for you right now. I think I should.
You ready?
We're live, so we are ready, man.
I thought you were waiting on me as usual.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Did you say what you
Blue,
were saying?
I only want blue M&Ms.
Because you're at Ed seat today doesn't mean you get to request the blue M&Ms. that's King Ed.
Yo, what is good, everybody? It is the Neutral Zone. We do this every week. It is our football pick'em show. I'm about to do some extra crunches or something like that because leaning around this couch makes me, it looks like I have a bigger gut than I do. But, so, my name is Javon Adams, and I am with my esteemed panel of friends and co-hosts, starting from the furthest from me, the one and only Sean McConnell. What is good, sir?
I'm doing good, man. I'm in my own house, so I'm good. We're hanging out.
Indeed, indeed. And then, of course, Casual E, Earl Burnett. Hello, sir.
What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Not much, man.
And for those of you that pay attention to what we have going on here via casualsports.com, casualsports.com, you notice that one big black dude is missing. Shout out to Ed Easy Smith taking care of business this evening. So we hope that whatever it is, it's like a $5 repair. That's what we want. $5 repair. That's what we want. So let's get into it. We are going to go over week 2. There are no buys this week. And so the way that we try to break this down is essentially into 4 different segments. So the first segment is comprised of what I think are maybe some of the more compelling matchups. Segment 2 is always the Arizona Cardinals. So whenever we get to Arizona Cardinals, that is a segment all into itself because we are here in the Valley of the Sun and we are a bird gang related show no matter what we do.
That's
segment
right.
3 and segment 4 accordingly. Segment 4 is more of the quick hitters. It's the speed round of sorts. But without further ado, let's get into the first game. Minnesota at Green Bay. The reason I picked this gentleman is just because in talking to shout outs to Ed, his nephew debuted is the rookie tight end for the Minnesota Vikings, and I mean he couldn't stop all the balls being thrown his way because there were a whopping 10 passes thrown by Kirk Cousins last week.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, 10 passes,
So
10 pass attempts. But
I mean, he went to Ed soon.
he didn't catch it. I don't think he caught it. But
no targets or anything.
I think he was targeted once or twice. But yeah, so but according to Ed, he acquitted himself well in terms of being ready for the next level, which is the NFL. But so Minnesota at Green Bay, this is a division rival, so this is always going to be hotly contested. So Minnesota last week the defense gave up 377 total yards, but they only gave up 12 points. So that's kind of interesting. I'm wondering if this will be an opportunity for Green Bay's offense to get on track. They won last week, but they only scored 13 points. And then in terms of Minnesota, is less more. Again, I mentioned with Kirk Cousins only having 10 pass attempts. So let's start with you, Casual E. What do you think?
Yeah, that is kind of how do you win a game the way they won the game, with the score they won the game, with him only throwing 10 passes and completing only 8.
That's how you get that $84 million.
That's what I was about to say. You gotta start earning that dang on money. This is your money maker, right? This is your $1 million man, and you can't throw the ball against Green Bay.
Hey.
I mean, who they played last week? I'm sorry, Atlanta, who's been struggling like crazy, and you can't throw the rock. I mean, I don't get it, man. I don't know, but they got a defense this week against Green Bay who played pretty good last week. They got 2 good corners that they picked up in free agency, 2 Smith guys, Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith. Green Bay picked them 2 dudes up, and they just somehow they worked out so pretty good in that 3-3-5 defense. That's what stopped the Bears last week. And so they're going to throw that at Minnesota this week. And so can Cousins beat that outside defense that Green Bay's going to be playing? I don't know, man. And then Kirk, you got to say it right. You can't say Kirk. You got to say Kirk
Yes.
Cousins got to start earning that money, man. I mean, I know that's probably pressuring him right now. I think that's what he's pressing on right now.
He was pressured last year to earn that money though too. I mean, so what's the excuse this year? I mean,
What's the excuse?
I'm looking at the stats to get my notes, and I'm seeing 8 for 10, and I'm refreshing the page. Is the game still going? Like, what happened? What's going on? 8 for 10. I mean, did I really read that right? I did. We have people in Arizona complaining about how much Kyler threw the ball. That's 5 times more than Kirk threw the ball.
Right.
And they won.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is definitely going to be a game of pounding the football, running the ball. I see it being a low-scoring game, being that it is a divisional game, the way the Green Bay Bears game went. This is going to be a very weird game, but I see Minnesota winning this game somehow.
I see also the Packers defense going to do what they did to the Bears. They're going to make Cousins play quarterback. Remember what they said last week?
You're right on the. They might put all 11 in the box and just let him throw.
Remember they said that about Trubisky last week? Oh, we knew if we just make him play quarterback, we'd be fine. They're going to make Cousins play quarterback.
You might be right on that one.
The ultimate diss. The ultimate diss.
That is the ultimate.
New Orleans at the Rams. The NFL scheduling people have an interesting sense of humor. So we know that this game was in the playoffs last year. So it was the winner ended up going to the Super Bowl. So of course, New Orleans at the Rams. When I look at this, New Orleans had a comeback win at the end of for Monday night. They ended up winning that game. I don't understand why. Who did they play against? So my mind is basically New Orleans. Why Houston played almost like a prevent defense and let everything kind of go up the middle. They let Drew Brees just march down the field. But the Rams, 39 attempts for Goff, only 189 yards last week. The defense for the Rams gave up 366 total yards, but there was 166 total rushing yards. So I'm just curious what you guys think about this one. It seems I'm thinking this is going to get physical just because the New Orleans, even though this game is in Los Angeles, but those New Orleans fans, everybody in New Orleans is hurt. They're walking around with a big chip on the shirt, quite possibly. What you think, Sean?
Who dat, man? It was what a finish by New Orleans last week against Houston. I know you said prevent defense, but they still got to connect on those passes. They still got to call the right plays. And to do it in 45 seconds and make it look easy was something to be respected for sure. They look in perfect season form right now. Not that they're going to have a perfect season, but they look like they're about as good as they can be. Kamara looks like he's ready to just tear the league up. This is definitely the marquee running back matchup of the year. I'm going to put that down on paper. And if the running game is working for both teams, I see this being potentially the highest scoring game of the year as well.
Really?
And they're doing it week 2 out the gate. I mean, this could be an amazing game. But if LA falls flat on offense, which we still aren't positive on that offense yet, we still don't feel great about it, it could fall flat and all of what I said could just be for nothing.
Okay.
Man, we got the shout out to my man Paul PLR to the Cave Show, because this is for you, man. Shout out for you, man, because we got the crying saints in the house that keep crying about this dang call. They feel like right now they're entitled for every little bitty thing that goes wrong. They're supposed to get the upper hand.
Everything has to be
everything exactly has to make up for what. There's nothing that can make up for what they did last year. So now every call has to go to them. Yeah. They almost got robbed again with another bad call in that game. But man, get over it. It's over with. It's time to move on. But about the game, the Rams, I don't know if Gurley's right. I still don't think Gurley's right. McVay came out today and said that his practice schedule is 2 of the 3 days every week. Why? Why would you have to do that if your running back is healthy?
They're just gonna say just because, man.
Just because. You want to keep him healthy, keep him right. But Aaron Donald was neutralized in that game last week, and they double teamed him. I mean, all day. So he had only 1 tackle and 1 quarterback hurry, but he got 64% of the snaps of his rushes were all double teamed. So that's how New Orleans is going to try to neutralize him in this game. And double team Aaron Donald, and you give Drew Brees a little bit more time. And I think the Saints will win the game. Hopefully another call doesn't happen in that dang game. I'm tired of hearing the Saints call. That goes to you, Paul. That's for you, man. I know I was on this show last couple of weeks. He was ticked off, saying, "Stop crying, man."
Basically, you gotta let some of that stuff. Let it go.
Let it go. It's over with.
So Seattle at Pittsburgh. I think this is interesting. For Seattle in week 1, My question here is DK Metcalf going to shine after a 4-catch, 89-yard performance for Seattle on the defensive end. They gave up 418 passing yards despite causing 3 turnovers. So that defense that's supposed to be kind of not to the Legion of Boom status, but really supposed to be kind of getting back on track, so to speak. That raises some question marks for me. Pittsburgh, I mean, they went up against their nemesis, the Patriots, so that game turned out how it turned out. Will Pittsburgh be motivated after a Sunday night embarrassment? 47 pass attempts, that's too much for Big Ben. I don't care, especially at I think this stage of his career, I could be wrong. 57% completion despite what I think it may have updated, but I didn't see any hurries or blitzes, but only 32 yards rushing. So your thoughts on this, Captain?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm mainly looking at. Pittsburgh, what the hell was that?
Right.
I mean, it's like, that's unusual to see them not show up for a big game like that. I mean,
if it's against the Patriots.
Well, they usually at least battle and lose at the end, but they didn't even show up.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like, what the hell? So I mean, the Patriots made them one-dimensional. 32 yards rushing. They stopped their run. That was supposed to be their bell cow coming in. Was that running game?
Yep.
Connor was supposed to be able to just, that big old line was supposed to be able to just eat at him. 32 yards rushing is all they mustered up. That's incredible for the Patriots defense. They need to be better than that though. The Seahawks gave up only 34 yards of rushing, so now they got to go into another stout defense that's going to stop that run again. So can they run the ball? If they can get Connor going, can they run the ball? Because if they don't get a running game going, they're one-dimensional. People know what's coming.
Right.
And when you're one-dimensional, it's hard to win in the NFL, man. Pretty much. Russell Wilson, all of a sudden, is connected with Tyler Lockett like he's Doug Baldwin. I'm like, how could that little dude be their number one? He's their number one receiver right now.
Yeah.
And Pete Carroll's he's gonna run the ball too. 160 yards rushing last week, so it's gonna be a running game. Whoever team can stop the run. I'm looking at Seattle doing that.
I usually kind of walk around with my shirt off, and people mistake me for DK Metcalf.
Yeah, I have
but you know what I'm saying? So that's how it goes down.
That's what I gotta say. Pete Carroll had the same problem too. He took his shirt off during the thing.
Both teams last week had a little bit of a slice of humble pie. Seattle not so much, but the fact that Andy Dalton got them close to beating Seattle, that is just humble pie in itself. Right? But more importantly, Pittsburgh had the whole pie of humble pie given to them, because apparently they didn't know that losing your star wide receiver and your star running back might pose a problem on your offense.
Wow.
Juju is the star now, but he wasn't the star then, and now they're trying to figure out what's going on. I see a low-scoring game here, but I still see Seattle winning.
It's going to be interesting to me. It's different. We always talk about the person who's the assistant coach, and they move over to be the head coach, and it's only 18 inches, but there's so much of a difference.
Yeah.
Being the man, Juju. Being the man is
totally different
than being the man next to you.
Yeah, totally different. Do you guys think that Pittsburgh has still got rust from preseason?
I think a lot of teams are.
A lot of teams.
I think
this first 4 games was really a preseason.
It's really hard to judge these teams and these games until about week 4 or 5, really, because that's when they know who they are. Right. They've been smacked around a couple of times now. They know they can't do this or that.
Exactly.
They can't be too cute, as we're going to allude to a little bit earlier, a little later. But yeah, you can't judge them right away. There's rust all over the place.
I agree. So speaking of a little bit of rust, so Jacksonville at Houston. So Jacksonville, Foles is out. He is on the injured list now. It's possible that he could come back. But Minshew comes in and starts shreds the defense. I mean, who knows? Again, it's one of those things because we didn't really see too much action from the teams in preseason.
Yeah.
Minshew's
a rookie. Don't quote me on it.
Yeah, we have to look it up.
He is a rookie.
But so undisciplined is the thing that I wrote down for Jacksonville because they had 10 penalties. 10 penalties, that's way too much. That's Raider territory. For 71 yards, and the defense only forced 1 punt in the first 9 drives. So with Houston, one of the things that I noticed when I was watching a little bit of the Monday night game, Deshaun Watson gets hit. He gets hit. Even on that touchdown throw that ended up tying the game, and then of course the point after ended up putting them ahead before Drew Brees marched down the field. If you look at that pass, he was blasted. And so you have to keep that in mind. So your thoughts on Jacksonville at Houston? We'll start with you, Sean.
There are no gardeners in Miami. There's a Gardner Minshew. There are no Gardners in that. I'm sorry, but 6th round quarterback picks just don't blow up anymore. There is like virtually no tape on this guy, so he has that for about a couple weeks.
Right.
A little bit of like a Ryan Fitzpatrick kind of effect going on here.
Yeah.
But you know, Jacksonville may end up competing. They might end up being the worst team in the NFL when it's all said and done against Miami.
Yeah.
And it's in the same state. I mean, this is a tough blow losing Foles. Houston is not going to go easy on them at all.
They that bad?
There are no Gardners in Florida. I'm sorry, I don't see it happening. It's going to be tied for worst.
But everybody's looking at all these rookie quarterbacks' best first day. I mean, the best first day, and everybody concentrating on Kyler Murray. This dude put up some numbers, though, Minshew. He put up some pretty sick numbers.
Because when he came in, think about. All right, let's
22 out of 25.
We go to play a pickup game of basketball, right? They gonna look at, let's say the three of us, we're trying to get a game of 3-on-3, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna walk up. They look at Sean and say, "All right, I bet he can kind of shoot, right? Watch because he can shoot." They gonna look at you and say, hold on. They gonna look at you and say, "All right, man, that dude look like he might be able to D up, and he might be able to.
He might dunk on you."
They gonna look at me and say, "All right, man, we got this." So it's one. And if I come out and shit a couple threes, somebody guard this dude. And that's what's gonna happen with Minshew.
Oh yeah. So you basically saying that KC just went into like a prevent, let this dude just shred him?
They're not tripping. They
Game was in the bag.
What
can he do?
Well, yeah, of course. I know the second week they're gonna game plan for him. I know that. But I'm just giving him his props for coming in here as a rookie, man, and had a pretty damn good day. But Jacksonville, so-called best secondary, got lit up.
Yes, sir.
Mahomes averaged 11.1 yards per pass. 6 passes over 20 yards. 4 passes over 40 yards. Where the hell is that secondary at? They're supposed to be the top of the line, man. I don't get that, man. And like you said, Watson's taking way too many hits, man.
Yeah.
He's taking way too many hits. Even I thought they brought in that old line to stop all of that mess, and he's still taking too many hits.
Exactly. Let's move on to the Bird Gang, Arizona at the Ravens. So last week,
we got to spend a little time on this one.
Yes. So last week was the fourth quarter. Is the question for me? Was the fourth quarter a sign of the offense finding a rhythm, or was that an aberration? Because for the first 3 quarters, it was Kingsbury was trying to find his rhythm, but maybe he wasn't being aggressive enough. It's his first game. You have to expect some of that, but it was bad. And in the fourth quarter, all of a sudden everything comes together, and they end up tying the game. But Arizona still can't cover tight ends. The run defense was better than I thought. The quarterbacks weren't tested. That was one of the things. And I noticed that Johnson, the running back Johnson, he flashed a little bit. I think he finished with 82 yards. He obviously had that reception touchdown. So that's a big thing. Conversely, the Ravens, Lamar Jackson. I asked the question last week. I asked the question, can he pass? Question mark. And he said, yeah, I can. But it was against that.
But then I said it was against the daggone high school team. Yeah.
So what can we expect? Was that an aberration, or can we expect to see that? Will they test the Arizona quarterbacks? So let's go with this. What do you got, Sean, for this one?
I got to start by owning up to my own mistakes. I did it on Monday. I left the game.
Yes,
11 minutes left.
11 minutes left.
Sitting on the 50-yard line.
I'm not gonna blame my daughter's needs for dancing shoes at the outlet mall. I'm gonna blame that I knew that there was no way they were gonna come back and win.
Right.
So I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong.
Right.
But I am going to pick Baltimore here, not because of what I saw in the Cardinals game, but because of what I saw in the Baltimore game.
Right.
I mean, it is the essential. We like to do basketball parallels all the time.
Yes.
It's the essential of running them up by 50 and still throwing it off the glass and alley-ooping it to your friends because you just have them beat.
Man.
Going for fake punts because they have nothing better to do because they're bored. Baltimore is going to be scary this year. They could be very scary this year. And yes, the Cardinals defense showed things that we didn't think they could do. They deflected some passes. They stopped the run. It was Matt Stafford. I'm not going to give them a gold medal for it. Right. I mean, he tried to give them the game in the overtime. We all saw it, right?
Yes.
It is Matt Stafford. It is the Lions. They're cursed just as much as anybody. Baltimore looks really scary. Lamar Jackson is on fire. The offense is like all types of explosive. Hollywood Brown, all of them. Insane.
They got a lot of chunk plays.
A lot of big plays. They're not just chipping away at you. They are bombing it in front of your face.
I got a lot on this one, man.
I know you do.
I don't think we could judge Baltimore on that game after playing Miami. That's first of all. Yes, they did put the numbers up, and you can't deny that. They did it the way they did. They scored on every possession, I think.
I believe you.
Yeah, I think they scored on every possession. That's unheard of. That's telling you a team is doing a perfect job tanking. And Miami's doing exactly that. They're tanking. We already know that. So that performance, you got to kind of give that a grain, take that with a grain of salt. Just a little bit. Lamar Jackson, they getting hardly no pressure. He didn't even have to run. He ran maybe 2 or 3 times for 6 yards. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, they put up over 230.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to bring that into the equation. The team they were playing pretty much laid down for him. Pretty much.
They didn't wake up for him.
But I like what you said about the tight end position, because guess what? The Ravens have a tight end as well. Andrews.
Shocker.
Yeah, Mark Andrews put up 108 yards on 8 catches last week. And if we don't shore up the tight end area, then we'll be dealing with that same thing again. But like I said, if Murray can come in this game, picking up where he left off, being as calm and collective as he was in the fourth quarter of that other game, then we're gonna have a ball game. I think we're gonna have almost close to a shootout in this game.
Really?
Offensive shootout. You got to think about it. Think about it this way: if the Cardinals can score 18 points in 1 quarter, what do you think they can do in 4 if Murray's playing up to par? Now, I'm not saying they're going to score 18 points per quarter.
Right.
I'm saying you got to take that with a grain of salt. Look, you're going to have a real defense. You're going to have another defense, a better defense that you're playing against, which is fine. But if you can move the ball, I don't like what they did on 3rd down this last game. They were only 9 of 21 on 3rd down. They have to make 3rd down conversions to keep drives alive.
What did you see? I'm sure you Sean, because he was not there.
Oh.
What concerned me, what was a cause for concern for me, was the short yard. They weren't, especially when they were making the comeback, it was 10 yards, it was 12 yards. So it wasn't, they weren't really throwing down the field. They did, it was a lot of those small, kind of to the outside. They weren't really trying to push the boundaries a lot.
Correct.
Is that something that you think that they'll fix and they'll adjust? I did like the fact that he spread it to a lot of different receivers, that he got them involved, but that just seemed like a bit concerning to me, that you're not going to be quick striking some. I don't expect every offense to be quick striking.
I think that's exactly what they need to do. Stick with what works.
Okay.
You come in there and go with like 10 personnel, like you said, 1 back, no tight ends, and just let them receivers go short, and lull them to sleep with the short stuff, as long as you're moving them sticks, and then you hit them with fits over top like they did in that game.
But get this was purely situational. This is going to change when the score is 0-0 again.
That's true.
Because they were spreading it out because they had to pass. And you can't risk it going deep in that scenario. You got to go short chunk, get out of bounds, save time as much as possible.
Okay.
What I think they're going to look for in this game is if David Johnson can get 6 yards per carry, 4 yards per carry, around there where they're setting up 3rd and short, now they're going to be on their heels a little bit more. They're going to be able to throw a little bit, take more chances. That's where I see it's going to go.
I see also, when you look at it, everybody came in and said that the reason why the Cardinals came back in that game is because they started to wear down the Detroit's defense. Okay, that may be true. But guess what? Our defense was wore down for 3 quarters. Our defense got wore down because we were on the field so much. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. If the Cardinals can stay on the field and sustain drives, I'm telling you, this is going to be a good game to watch. And I am taking the Bird Gang and the Cardinals in this game because of the offense. If Murray comes in, that kid has got whatever it is.
Got a lot of passes batted down.
That's true. But
5.
He had passes batted down not with rushing coming at him. He had passes batted down, people just staying in their lane, just putting their hand in, which is still bad.
Right.
but if he can move his feet like he moves his feet pretty good in the pocket.
Yeah.
This is a defense that's going to get after him. So we gotta make sure, like you were saying, get David Johnson going. If we don't get David Johnson going, then that's going to be a long day passing the ball for 96 times in the game.
Here's a question, because you like to ask questions. I got a question.
Sure.
Will Kingsbury play cute again?
Keep that in mind.
You think he's gonna get cutesy with the play calling
No.
game? Or did he learn his lesson?
I think it'll be a mix of it.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a mix of it.
Yeah.
Because I think if it's in his DNA to let's say to get cute, to use your term, I think he'll have to do some of that stuff. But then what he should be adjusting to is this is the NFL, not college
Right.
football.
Right.
So be able to mix that in and find a good balance. One of the things that I realized, David Johnson needs a fullback.
Mm.
I mean, I think it's
Mike McCoy thought of that.
So how that worked out.
I love the idea. I'm not saying it's a bad idea.
Just
I'm
follow
just
his
telling
back.
you.
Just follow his back right up the middle.
But
Sorry to follow
I think that would,
back.
if you're looking at what, especially what they did on the goal line when they were down there, and some of the things that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's and when we were doing our Believe in the Arizona Cardinals podcast, and was saying, well, that's kind of maybe what the tight end is supposed to do instead, since there isn't a fullback. But that's just something maybe they can work on that. Some of those short yardage situations, so
Yeah.
they utilize
You
the
know,
tight end in that way.
coming into games, they always have something you can kind of almost get some more added motivation from. Suggs returning back to Baltimore.
Yep.
I mean, come on now, Lamar Jackson's not going to just sit back there and just do what he did against Miami. It's not happening. Chandler Jones, Suggs is going to be a man with his hair going to be on fire in this game. So.
He should be motivated.
And of course, Max Williams, the tight end. I mean, we got guys that are coming back to Crabtree coming back to Baltimore. So it's like we got sometimes. I'm not saying that's going to be their reason for winning. I'm saying this Cardinal team showed in the fourth quarter something we did not ever show at all last year, and that was fight.
Yeah.
We're not going to come in and lay down in this game. This is going to be a game where we're going to come in and battle this team.
It wasn't just fight. It was drama. It was intrigue.
Everything.
It was life.
Yes.
It was positive yardage.
Yes.
It was getting past the 50.
Yes.
It was
Thank
amazing.
you. Thank you.
Amazing.
Yes.
It only took one quarter.
And some exciting plays. It's like, wow.
One of the things that was interesting to me is that it's the Phoenix market is almost like that jaded lover. Because they were so happy to tie and not to lose.
Right.
Well, at least we didn't lose. At least we didn't lose, and that just shows you how much of a negative impact that was left from last season.
That was
I think
exactly.
Last season was the culmination of it, but the last couple of seasons, I mean, it kind of a downward trend, and so really thirsty for something, thirsty in general for something positive to happen in terms of.
To his credit, though, Kyler wasn't satisfied with a tie. Did you see his reaction when he dropped the pick? He's like, oh!
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
He was about to cry for a second. He's like, I could have had a chance to have the best comeback as a rookie. Then you just dropped the ball.
Indeed. So we'll keep our eye on that. So let's get to the Philadelphia Eagles at the Atlanta Falcons. That is the Sunday night game. So Philadelphia, they dominated statistically, but their defense allowed the game to really stay close. They had 120 yards rushing and 313 passing yards. Atlanta had 27 first downs, but only 12 points. How do you get 27 first downs but only 12 points? And then 5 of their 10 drives were 4 plays and out. Wow. So your thoughts on this or something you guys believe?
They're still having the same problem they were having last year.
What's the deal?
Red
They
zone.
can't do nothing in the red zone. Yeah, they can't. Who's the coach? Who's off? Did they change?
Sark is not back. Sark is gone.
Wow, what the problem is? Who's he saying that? What the problem is?
And all the wide receivers caring about is that I got my extension.
I got my extension, man.
My extension plan. So,
I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. It's just Atlanta has so much talent. I mean, across the board, just talent everywhere on offense.
Right.
What's going on defense? We have no clue. They can't put it together on defense. I don't know what that's about. But Philly. Oh man, Carson Wentz. He looked okay. Everything looked all right in Philly so far. Getting Deshaun Jackson back was pretty good for them. That kid's gonna be hard to stop. So you got to take Philly in this game no matter what because Atlanta can't stop anybody.
This game, I think it's actually going to be pretty close.
Yeah.
I do.
okay.
But I also reserve the right to be wrong. I'm picking Philly. They look as close to as advertised and hyped up this season as they can be. There's always that injury concern. There's always that worry that's going to be there forever.
Right.
Matty Ice is cold. 2 interceptions. He's not. Man, that guy's cold. He's cold.
Right. Got you.
Like he can't get hot. He can't get in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
I see that being what's going to let Philly edge them out. And that kid, Deshaun Jackson, yeah, he's still got some speed left.
He stayed cold because he's always coming from behind trying to throw the ball and everything down. And when you're predictable like that, what do you think you're going to do? How many times did he throw the ball?
I didn't see that.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it was way past what he had to, what he should have had to, having a running game. Freeman's back. I mean, I don't get what this team is doing on the field.
12 points.
12.
Speaking of not scoring, Cleveland at the Jets. So this is interesting.
Wah, wah.
So Cleveland, so Kitchens, if he goes 0-2, let him go 0-3. It's going to be hell to pay in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Did losing at home refocus the Browns? That's going to be interesting. That's kind of one of the things that go down. Now, they had penalties. I talked earlier about a team that had penalties, but they had penalties. 18 penalties for 182 yards. They had people kicking people in the face. And all that stuff. That's crazy.
Smackdown.
For the Jets, Darnold was sacked 4 times. Bell, I think he's going through some injury issues after week 1, but he only had 60 yards on 17 attempts. I'm not good at quick math, but that's not good. Crowder had 14 receptions, though. So your thoughts on this? And we know that Darnold is not going to play. Sean, I'm start with you.
You just set me up right here for it. I love it. Sam Darnold literally just kissed their season goodbye. If you didn't know, Earl, he has mono. That's why he's not. He kissed their season goodbye, Earl. Do you get the joke?
Yes.
He gets the joke.
That's why I set it up.
All right.
That's why I set it up.
Now, Cleveland got smacked in the mouth last week, and the pressure's on for sure. But I'm telling you right now,
this dude.
you said it was a little bit of a WWE SmackDown, right? With kicking in the face.
Right.
Cleveland's gonna RKO the crap out of the Jets, and you know it. You just know it. They're gonna come back. They're gonna bounce back. They're gonna do everything legally possible or illegally possible to shake off this national criticism that is really loud right now.
According to OBJ, he know what time it is. He wearing a watch on the field. He know what time it is.
Yeah, come on now.
What you got, Casual?
I told y'all last week they were going to struggle. And it's not over with. You're not going to clean up everything in one game. You're not going to just all of a sudden clean everything up. We're going to just roll. No, they're going to struggle in this game too.
Man, but
They're going to
Darnold is
struggle.
not playing.
I don't care. They're going to struggle.
Gonna play.
They're going to struggle because they don't have any cohesiveness. They don't know how. They haven't played together.
Okay.
It's not coming together yet. It's going to take them some time.
If they go 0-2, I can't wait for the
Man, I would have picked the Jets if Darnold played in this game, but this is still going to be an ugly game. It's still going to be one of those low-scoring. Cleveland, the Jets will be in the game at the end of the game. Somebody's going to win it by a field goal.
Interesting.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
Cleveland is playing that. They're that discombobulated. They don't have it yet.
Okay. Indianapolis at Tennessee. Tennessee took it to the boys. Took it to Cleveland. But Indianapolis, how do you lose a game when you rush for 203 yards as a team? That is my question. Tennessee only 2 for 10 on third down, despite winning by 30 points. That's something that stood out to me in terms of looking at the numbers. They lost the time of possession as well, 28 minutes to 30 minutes. So just a couple of things that, they took it to them, but there's some things that stood out. What you got in this one, Sean?
Color me impressed, man. The Colts have resolved. I thought they were dead in the water, going to be floating a little bit behind Miami, a little bit behind Jacksonville. Just kind of looking for that number 3, number 4 pick, maybe get a quarterback out of it.
Right.
They don't want to give up.
Right.
I'm impressed. But Tennessee put a whooping on a team that was heavily favored.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the numbers, I don't know the Vegas numbers, but I could just feel heavily numbered.
Oh, yeah.
This was their coming out party.
They have to be.
And they beat them bad. Tennessee is going to beat the weaker opponent. The Colts are the weaker opponent. I don't have any stats to base this game off of. It's just a gut feeling. When you can do that to a national favorite, game 1 with no film, Tennessee's got it.
Yeah, Tennessee's defense is going to hide all the glitches that's in their quarterback.
Ooh. He's glitchy.
Oh yeah, he's glitchy.
He's glitchy.
They hiding all the imperfect and all the imperfect, all that they hide. The defense is letting all that cover it up. They're covering it up. And they're going to be a good defense all season, man. It's going to be Tennessee will win this game. Like you said, I'm impressed with the Colts there. You would have thought for sure they were going to lay down
Absolutely.
in that game. To come back and be tied 24 with the Chargers, man, what's that saying about the Chargers?
Yeah.
but
we always say about the Chargers.
I like
yeah,
that's Phillip Rivers for you.
Yeah.
I like Tennessee in this game because of their running game and their defense.
Let's move on to Kansas City at Oakland. I mean, Kansas City got to be shaking in their boots, right? So when you look at Kansas City, Mahomes picks up right where he left off. My question is, can the defense tighten up after getting shelled by Gardner Minshew for 350 yards? Oakland, I think that was one of those games that was won on emotion for various reasons. It's their last home game, last home season debut in Oakland. The Antonio Brown stuff, I think, going around. All those things, I think it was a perfect storm for them. So, what do you think about this game?
Time to come down, right back down to earth, because that Kansas City team is going to be tough to stop. I don't think the Raiders have the defense to keep up with them. Period. I mean, what else can you say about that?
Look, for y'all that have paid attention to the show, I'm a Raiders fan. Abrams, my safety, he's out for the season.
Already, just like that.
He's a hard hitter, but a hard hitter that broke like Mr. Glass. Good Lord. So anyway, all right. So what you got, Sean?
Yeah, I got Kansas City in this game. I think this is an easy favorite if you're betting on it. No Tyreek Hill, no problem. Sammy Watkins rested.
Came out of the grave somewhere.
Rested very well on my fantasy bench, by the way,
Right.
if I may say.
A lot of people had that. It's a divisional foe, and to be honest, I think Oakland's just happy to start 1-0, right? I mean, they're just good to be. Hey, we dodged this bullet. AB's gone. It was a relief game.
Right.
They were just having fun at that point. People were smiling. People were chanting certain things I don't want to repeat.
I
Yes,
know.
they were.
Yeah.
Yes, they were. Yes, they
Since
were.
you didn't hear him though, because he doesn't listen to things.
Right.
He
Right.
just lives in the moment, right?
Right. You do. Oh.
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since we own this, remember last week we were talking about the Raiders, and I asked the question: has John Gruden lost any credibility in the locker room?
Chucky.
And you gotta ask it. I mean, after what I heard went down with that tape and how when AB came out and showed him the tape, he was like, "I love it, I love it, I love it." Like, what the hell you mean you love it? You're supposed to reprimand that dude right then and there. It's like, why didn't Chucky step up and Mayock had to come in and step in and do it. Now he looked like the bad guy.
You know why? It's child's play.
Somebody throw something at this dude.
Come on, Chucky.
But overall, though, I mean, how did Derek Carr look to you guys? I mean, did he look like the part quarterback, or does he look like he still has that little trying to figure this quarterback position out?
I think he looked like he could be a serviceable quarterback.
That means game manager.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for sure. I mean, because the year that he was in the MVP running, I think that's the exception to the rule.
Okay.
Yeah. His ceiling is tier 2 at best.
Yeah.
At best. And his floor is, what you just said.
Yeah.
So I put that like tier 3. I mean,
Bottom of tier 3.
yep.
Okey-dokey.
So Dallas at Washington. Speaking of tier 3 quarterback.
Oh.
So Dallas at Washington. So new OC is in a new DAC. So we got a new offensive coordinator out there. 9.1 yards. I looked at some advanced statistics. Shout out to Ed Smith. So 9.1 air yards per pass completion for Dak Prescott. So when you think about that, that's typically not what you see from them. Dak was not hurried or hit or blitzed. Those stats may have updated. That's what I came across. Will they use Zeke more against Washington because he was used very sparingly? The defense did force 3 fumbles, and that's one of the things that you can't. You go for that, but forcing fumbles is not the statistic that you can necessarily count on. Keenum, he was solid for Washington. Run game was anemic with only 28 yards. Defense allowed Philadelphia to go 11 for 17 on third down. What you got, Sean?
Washington looked pretty capable. Not capable enough against Dallas. This is going to be, I think, when they finally let the training wheels off of Ezekiel Elliott and just let him go and do what he does. I'm not saying he's going to have a breakout game in that sense, but he's going to have a way better game. So start him on your fantasy team, kids. Dak's on a mission to prove his worth. I don't think that. I think a lot of those numbers from that game are a little bloated for him. I think it's don't count on those every week, but he's going to keep trying to prove for that contract. He wants the next contract, so they're going to be close to those numbers. And Washington has pieces, but not enough to go against Dallas right now. That is literally just throwing money at that team, trying to do anything they can to keep it alive. When we all know it's a tier 2 team. I'm going tiers for the rest of these segments, man.
Shall let it all out.
Washington is just the Giants. They're the same team. So the only difference in this game is that in Washington's house. I mean, but Dallas looks pretty decent, pretty scary, actually. I mean, when you think about it, you got a perfect balance at quarterback and a balance at running back, and they got a balance on defense. It's like they're pretty balanced everywhere. I mean, I'm not gonna say they're perfect, but they look pretty dang good, and that's why Dak is so comfortable, because he's got that bell cow behind him, and when he needs to take over a game, they'll start handing it to him. But Dak is opened up. The passing game's opened up because of the threat back there.
This is true.
So they look pretty good, man. I mean, I don't know how long they can keep it up till they play somebody, but we'll see. But I like them in this game for sure.
Buffalo at the Giants. Balanced attack from Buffalo last week. They ended up coming away victorious, but too many pass attempts from Josh Allen. So it was just crazy. But the quarterback was hit 9 times. You have to do a better job of protecting your quarterback. They lost the time of possession 27-59 to 32-01. So that's one of the things that stood out. If you have a balanced attack, you should win that time of possession. Giants, they came away 0 for 1. One of the things that was brought to my attention today was that Daniel Jones ended up seeing some playing time at the end of the game because of how the game was going. So that's interesting. But can New York can they protect Manning? And will Saquon really get the ball, and when they feed him like he's just hungry and starving? So what do you think about this casualty?
Yeah, well, it was hard to feed him last week because they had to throw the ball coming from behind. So, but they'll feed him this week, and this is going to be an ugly defensive game here anyway. I mean, Eli's serviceable enough to shred a Buffalo defense, I think. So I would give Giants the edge because they're at home and they have that, Saquon back there. So I would give Giants the edge in this game over Buffalo.
I'm actually going to go Buffalo. Buffalo, they only gave up 16 points on defense. Eli Manning, I don't know if he can put up 16 points. For starters. Both teams scored 17. It's not going to be a high-scoring game by any means. Barkley had 120 rushing yards, didn't he?
Yeah.
What'd that defense do for him?
Jack.
They gave up 35 points. He could run for 250. They're still going to lose. I'm sorry, Saquon, but he doesn't need an offensive line. It's obvious. Like, he can just bust through people. But he does need a defense to actually keep the score close.
Buffalo's not that elite of a defense. I mean, they're good enough, but
I see that, but at the same time, I think they can stop. I think they can stop.
Can they stop the run? Though? If they can stop the run, now I can see that. But if they can't stop the run, and Saquon's chewing them up, eating them up, Eli can get the ball downfield, being set up by the run. I mean,
I want to argue. No. They might put 10 in the box and just let one guy go back.
That's true.
Let Eli play quarterback.
And Eli can't do that, so that's what I'm saying.
You can't find the open receiver at the 4.
Right. Yeah. It's a chess match. It's a chess match.
The ultimate diss.
Yep.
New England at Miami. New England at Miami. The AB experiment, will it begin? We know that there's some legal stuff that came about with Antonio Brown. So will the Patriots hold him out of this week's game? So we'll see with that. How many points will New England win by? Is what I wrote down. But sometimes when they go down to Miami, they have a little hiccup sometimes because they enjoy that Miami nightlife. Maybe they're hanging with Rick Ross or something like that. I don't know. But so Miami, are they taking? We've mentioned that many times. That is the phrase that is associated with Miami these days. Who starts the QB? Josh Rosen going to get a start? They're going to put Fitzmagic in there. What are your thoughts on this, Rashawn?
Well, the one person who enjoyed Miami the most isn't on that roster. He's too busy with his CBD oil company now to be worrying about chugging beers. Gronk. He has a milk. Okay. 59-10. That was the score for Miami, right?
Right.
Against Miami. They didn't score 59. They never will. Let's just put that up there. But New England, that's all you got to say in the locker room. 59-10. We can beat that. We can beat that. That's what they're looking to do. The AB situation is appalling, regardless of whether or not it's true. What he's been doing all season long is just, like, we're all done with it, right?
We can all agree.
Right.
So whether or not he plays,
I don't see that making more of a difference on anything other than the social media feeds out there reporting that he's in the game.
Okay.
I see Miami losing because I see Miami losing every game this year.
Good.
This is going to be a pretty nasty game
From start to finish. All around.
New England don't even have to practice for this game.
I don't think they did.
They don't have to practice. They don't have to. Matter of fact, they can get off their eating schedule.
Wow.
They don't have to practice, and they can let a bunch of construction workers come in and impersonate them in the game, and they'll win this game. That's how bad Miami is.
No film needed to cheat
No
with.
film.
You don't need to cheat with
No
film.
nothing. Matter of fact,
You don't need a PED, you don't need a massage, you can just go out and
Exactly.
play and you will win.
exactly. And Brady can miss the trip to Miami and get there with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Put in Gardner Minshew.
Go. But the bookends. You had a perfect season in '72. You have a perfect one in 19. Just gonna be bookend with wins and losses.
Wow. Let's move on to Tampa Bay, another team in Florida. So Tampa Bay at Carolina, it is the Thursday night game. So Tampa Bay, Jameis Winston, 3 interceptions. Defense, they forced 2 turnovers. They lost despite rushing for 120 yards. Typically, at least in the old NFL, you hit that century mark, and that was typically a good sign for you. Carolina can what did I write down here? Can they maintain McCaffrey? I think McCaffrey is he's just an incredible player. 38 pass attempts is again just too much for this quarterback, which is Cam Newton. So your thoughts on this one? What you got to do?
Man, this is shout out to Big Head out there, man. This is Jameis Winston might be the new Bortles. Man, that dude.
I wonder if your boy, Arians is regretting.
I know. I don't know, but Arians is a stubborn dude. He think he can turn anybody around. He think he can. They call him the quarterback whisperer, and he figures just give him a few years, he'll have that dude just working like clockwork. But no, I don't see it, man. I don't think he's got what it takes to play making a playoff run or making a division-winning type run as a quarterback in this league. He's going to end up a backup somewhere. His future is backup. I mean, that's just how it looks. There you go. That's perfect. Yeah.
Vince Evans played for the Raiders for so long.
Long time ago.
He would always get cut at the end of preseason.
Yeah.
Then they would sign him after week 1 again because they would play that game.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't care. He was like,
Vince Evans.
all right,
I remember that
I'm on the
dude.
bench. I'm Vince Evans. I ain't tripping. I'll play behind Steve.
I'd take Carolina, of course.
I took Carolina as well, but I do have the game update for you guys. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with 2 minutes left,
Are up 20-14.
Wow.
Jameis Winston, 16 for 25, 208 yards, 1 touchdown. Panthers for McCaffrey, 15 carries, only 37 yards.
Wow.
They stopped the run.
Carolina has the ball with 2 minutes left. Who knows what's going to happen? I hope Carolina
That looks
wins for my
like-
pick, but
Yeah.
Tampa Bay might be on the right track again.
That's interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. Wow. Is that more of what the Panthers look like? Because they look a little out of sorts.
It's like an extended
Yeah,
preseason.
they don't look like the team everybody projected them to be.
Cam's right around 50% completion, 300 yards. Greg Olsen with 100 yards receiving.
I had him on my fantasy team. Didn't
That
play.
was
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Well, shout out to BA. Get your first win, dog.
Shout out. So let's move on to Chicago at Denver. Chicago, will they just let Trubisky be quarterback as their week 1 opponent did? That ended up being a good idea for Green Bay. Chicago, will they be able to score a touchdown this week? So Denver, Flacco was getting swallowed up last week, and every time he dropped back, it was like the pocket was just collapsing on him. The Denver should have a better defense, so they should have been able to put up a better fight last week against the Raiders. What are your thoughts on this one? Let's go with you, Sean.
I'm going to say Chicago on this one. They have to put up more than 3 points, right? I mean, that's really all that I wrote down on this. You can call it the upset alert, whatever you want to do. Chicago has to put up more than 3 points, right? Even if it's defensively.
Question mark?
They have to do something. And this Denver defense, this whole team for Denver hasn't done anything to impress me
at all. Not sorry, Jay, but they lost to the Raiders. I mean,
I'll take that win now. What you got here?
Denver saying the Bears are who we thought they were.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're overhyped, and maybe they have some rust coming because they didn't play in preseason. Trubisky handed the ball off 3 times in preseason. That was it. And so now he has to come out there and play, like he's playing preseason games right now. But I mean, the whole team looked bad though. Actually, I mean, they played a good defensive game. So, like Sean was saying, Denver, what are they? I mean, it's like just blah. Like
we don't know what we thought they were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have no idea what this
And
team
Flacco
is.
looks lost. Flacco looks like I'm trying to pick this thing up still. I'm trying to see what they're doing out here. I don't know. Flacco looks lost. I don't
Was
know.
that dude that got paid for winning that championship for
Yeah,
having a great defense?
Yeah,
What is it as I subscribe to this? He got hot at the perfect time. Not only to win a Super Bowl, but also to get paid.
Yep.
So let's move on to San Francisco at Cincinnati. San Francisco had 87 penalty yards despite the win last week. The defense allowed 121 rushing yards. Jimmy G had 27 pass attempts for a whopping 166 yards. So that's something that doesn't add up there. For Cincinnati, despite having 22 first downs, they lost compared to 12 for Seattle. So think about that. Only 34 rushing yards, and Earl mentioned that earlier when we were talking about the Seattle's rushing attack. Seattle's rushing defense. They won the time of possession 36 minutes to 24. So your thoughts on this game, casually?
I told y'all Jimmy G wasn't gonna be the same. I told y'all, but he's got a long way to go. I get it. It's the first game, but I think they went back and saw some tape on New England. It's like he do good with the short game. Let's just let him do the dumb ball stuff, and that's what he's doing. Dumb ball. How many yards did he have?
166.
Wow. On 26?
27 passes.
27 pass. That's crazy. That's like what? How many yards per pass?
Come on, man. Something
Oh yeah, I don't want to be doing no math. But anyway,
Where's Ed when you need him?
he's got a long way to go. But San Francisco's defense would do a good job at keeping Cincinnati under wraps in this one because they played a pretty good game defensively to get after the quarterback. So I'm gonna go with the Frisco Niners in this game.
Yeah, Cincinnati looked good. I was confused for a long time watching that score up on the board. They were holding on with Seattle. What's going on?
Seattle's defense is not the same. I don't think.
Well, San Fran's going to make Dalton look like he usually does.
Okay.
And it's going to be a San Fran win. As much as I don't want it, it's going to happen.
That makes sense to me. Yeah.
The red rocket is going to be exploding.
With a real Dalton, please stand up.
that can't be the beat, Jay. That's not the beat, right?
With a real Andy Dalton, please stand up. We're gonna have a problem here.
San Fran's winning this game. Let's go. Next.
He about to stand up too.
The last game is one and only Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers against the Detroit Lions. The Chargers, I guess Gordon isn't that important, is what I wrote down. There were 356 passing yards from the Chargers. Defense gave them 393 yards of total offense, though. So that's something that's definitely a concern. Detroit, Detroit's tight ends, can they shine again? Will there be carryover from their fourth quarter collapse with also LeSean?
How can Detroit give up that many unanswered points? I don't understand that.
Right.
I mean, that's why I left. It was monumental. That stuff doesn't happen. You have a defensive head coach.
Right.
It's not like we were running all over you. You weren't that tired. There's no way you were that tired. I have to go Chargers just on that alone. I mean, it was insane. If Kyler Murray can make that comeback, Phillip Rivers can absolutely make that comeback. Now, I have my doubts about him overall, but he has more experience, so he can definitely do it. And they, I feel like, have just as much weapons as we do.
And he'll do it for 4
I'm going to say
quarters.
Chargers on the road.
Yeah, he'll do it for 4 quarters. But you're saying, how can they do it? They wasn't giving Smacks his smacks because he said it. He admitted, yeah, I got winded. He said, I didn't play my best game at all. He was tired. And if that dude's in the game, playing at his top level, oh, he's hard to stop. So he was tired. They were winded. And but yeah, like I don't see this defense stopping Phillip Rivers.
He'll carve you up.
Yeah, he gonna carve him up, man. And Melvin Gordon better get up off his butt and get into camp or get into this to join his team, because the way the running game looked, it didn't help him. It did not help him at all.
He gonna be the one knocking after week 4 when they're 3-1, saying, "Hey, you know, I'll come back."
Yeah, I think we should, dude.
Yeah. Nah, for real, I'll come. I need, but so that is what we do here. We hope that you have enjoyed us. Catch us casualsports.com, KAZUALSPORTZ.com, also KSRNAZ.com. On behalf of Sean McConnell, on behalf of Casual Earl Burnett, on behalf of our missing brother Ed Easy Smith, I am Javon Adams. Catch us next Thursday. Until then, you can.
We go. Yep.